Hello, folks, and welcome back to this new episode of this crazy challenge of the motorized Wehrmacht. So, in this very first part of the video, I decided to go a little bit fast because, again, nothing really interesting happened in the in this time frame of 1942. Nothing interesting, but very briefly, finally, the troops of what I think became known as the German, one of the many German armies deployed in the southern region, southern sector, of the front, became activated, and 24 brand new motorized divisions, which were immediately, I would say, deployed on the Eastern Front. I mean, throughout the month of May, I kept those 24 divisions under training because you know me. I'm not a fan of sending rookies, let's say, troops on the front line, but given the extremely precarious conditions and situation developing on the Eastern Front, at some point I decided, okay, no, I can't wait any longer, and I have to send them there to the front line. And because the troops of the 6th Army were now being they were basically overextended over along the entire front line, and as you may have just seen in the sector of I don't remember, I think it was again around Voronezh, they were actually being beaten back by the Red Army, and the entry on the scene of the new, I forgot the number, I'm sorry, of this new German army meant that the 6th Army could strongly defend the northern section of the extended salient. And precisely on June 28, 1942, the second phase of Operation Case Blue commenced. And, well, no need to say that once again, the right combination of air support turned out to be once again really the key for a swift victory. And this was, let's say, became more pronounced in the south, and as you may have seen, because I somehow managed to get faster the air superiority, and it was in the south that the Guderian's 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division, supported by, I think it was the 2nd Panzer Division, they just broke through the enemy lines, and they, as you can see here they are just rushing towards the Volga River, the last main barrier between the survival of the Soviet Union and the final victory for the Reich. Unfortunately, this time I have underestimated the Soviet AI, because I don't know if somebody kind of scripted the AI in as if it was learning, because I found that, okay, maybe because I was being again overextended, but somehow I felt like I lost something, and I lost this ability to rush troops against the enemy front line. And only here on July the 15th I managed to close into a huge pocket. I mean, it's not that huge compared to the pockets I used to close. I'd say quite a lot of Red Army divisions, but I was a bit disappointed because I saw, and if you missed it, you can just go back a few minutes, that many of the Red Army divisions were just falling back. As I said, maybe I've not been fast enough to prevent this. Maybe I should have also pinned the other divisions and annihilate them. And I mean, not annihilate them, but just prevent them from falling back. And yeah, so this caused this triggered me, let's say, and not only triggered me, but made me wonder, because once again, the front line was really overextended, and I had to divert much of my mechanized and armored divisions to just wipe out the Don Bend pocket. Let's call it like this. And I had to fight also quite a heavy resistance in Stalingrad. And luckily for me, the fact that for some weird reasons there was no Red Army commander in guiding the defense of Stalingrad. This kind of helped me in gaining a relatively quick and painless victory. And now with the victory in the Don Bend, so here something weird happened. I think this was a decision scripted for the Soviets that they gain some fresh troops in Stalingrad to mimic the reinforcements that arrived in the city, and this again surprised me as much as the give the land to Romania event did to me, because I was like, okay, so I'm controlling Stalingrad, so how is this possible? So I think this event should be somewhat double checked, because you should make sure that the Soviets are actually controlling that province if they want to spawn reinforcement there. And with the victory at Stalingrad, I decided it was time to get to the Caucasus. And to achieve this, I sent Guderian's Panzers in a very relatively short march to reach the Caspian Sea, and just to cut off the Red Army troops stationed on the Caucasian front from any supply lines. And while I was playing around with the divisions, and I basically redeployed all of my infantry on the outer area of the front line, I focused all of my panzers and mechanized troops on the Caucasian front. And the idea was, okay, let's wait a little bit while the Soviet troops are getting demoralized because of the low supplies, and you know well. And in early September I launched the offensive, and even though I did not have a green air, let's say, just to talk like you guys may understand easily, even though I lacked green air, I think that the Red Army divisions in the Caucasus area were just so badly equipped and badly organized without supplies that they just did not oppose any kind of resistance. And I would say in roughly 1 month, or let's say 1 month and 10 days, the whole area of the Caucasus fell, I would say was liberated once again by the powerful armies of the German Wehrmacht. And as one of you may have, I think, pointed out in one of my previous videos about total war, I think that the loss of the Caucasus is I would call it the death blow that killed and will kill, let's spoiler this, will kill the Soviet Union. I must say, I decided to rush for the Caucasus because I was a bit afraid that my fuel situation, my fuel stockpile was drastically going down, and I know that the Soviets have this decision to burn the oil fields in the Caucasus, and it would take the Germans, I think, 1 year to fully repair them. I don't know if the Soviet AI managed to take this decision, but I would say not, because as soon as I got control over the Caucasus oil fields, I could see and I could feel an improvement in the amount of fuel which was generated daily. And as the Caucasus operation ended, I decided to start preparing the plans for the last offensive. And to achieve this, I activated also I think was the 6th SS Panzer Army, a unit that historically was created in 1944, and here just came up a little 2 years earlier. And I put this under the command of Paul Hauser, and the 6th SS Panzer Army mainly consisted of elite mechanized divisions of the Waffen-SS, and I decided to deploy it on the northern section of the front, next to Veliki Luki and next to von Kleist's Panzer Group. For the offensive, for the final offensive against Moscow, well, once again, I decided my plan was to draw again a huge pincer movement with which I could encircle the enemy capital and hopefully bring to an end this costly war, costly in terms of manpower and as well equipment. Also because, as you may have noticed, and in case you missed it, I will tell you now, while I was busy in liberating the Caucasus, the Soviets brutally and violently oppressed the Finnish people. And Finland just gave up. And I felt the moral need to avenge them by conquering Moscow once again. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to upload the final episode of the series very, very soon. Take care and stay safe.